About 83% of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribing, clicking that like button, and commenting all help me out a lot in doing what I really want to do. Thank you guys so much for all your support.
What is going on, guys? Rogue TCG here bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. After the ban list, this deck is now legal. You have seen the first part of this deck before. It's Mutant, but it's Mutant Thunder Dragon. I used to make a bunch of videos on it back in the day when it was on Master Duel, because Colossus is legal in Master Duel. And now I guess it's time to shine in the TCG. I think this deck is going to be quite good. A little bit more of a control variant on Mutant, but not necessarily full stun, because you see we're not playing Macro Cosmos or Dimensional Barrier and stuff like that. We do have the D-Shifter in the main because it is an incredible hand trap for us. But yeah. So essentially what the mutants do is they get advantage every time they summon, and they can banish cards from your hand or field in order to summon out a free, like, functionally a boss monster from your deck. And the Thunder Dragons, when they're banished, they get beneficial effects in order to give you more advantage. As you can see, we're not playing the OG Thunder Dragon as it's not very good. However, we are playing Roar, Dark, and Hawk, as well as 2 Matrix in order to make sure we have the right ratios to do everything we would like to do. But that is enough yapping from me. Let us get into the profile. Starting off, we're on triple Mutant MO5. When it's normal or special, we can add a mutant monster from our deck to our hand except for itself, and then we can tribute itself, banish a card from our hand or face of field as cost, and then special summon a monster from our hand or deck based on the type of card that we banished. If we banished a monster, we get to summon Mutant Beast, this one right here. If we banished a spell, we get Mutant Mist. We are not playing Mutant Mist. And then if we banish a trap, we have Mutant Arsenal. So before we get into all the next ones, I just want to cover Beast and Arsenal just because the other mutants that we're going to talk about mentions them as well. With Mutant Arsenal, this is the trap one. We have to banish a trap with a mutant. It cannot be special summoned except for the effect of a mutant card. Your opponent can't target it with trap effects. You can use each effective arsenal once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can banish a card from your hand or field, target a monster on the field, and then banish it. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target one of your banished mutant spells and add it to your hand. Pretty decent recursion effect in order to grab back mutant spells, although since we're not playing Mist, our spells typically aren't going to get banished. However, that effect to banish a face-up card is really strong, especially in the face of a Flambussy, the Snake Eye Dragon. And just the fact that this lets us turn our trap cards into advantage is good enough. And that's why we're only playing 1, because we're not running too many traps. But Mutant Beast is a little bit of a better one. It can't be special summoned except with the mutant. Your opponent can't target it with monster effect, which is kind of relevant. You can use each of the following effects of Beast once per turn, and once per turn your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect. You can banish 1 card from your hand or field, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. And then if it's destroyed by an opponent's card, you get to add a banished mutant trap, which is something that actually might happen since you're running Arsenal. I personally prefer Beast a lot. I think the spell negate's really strong on not being able to be targeted with an SP Little Knight, a Nightmare Unicorn, those sort of things. Really strong, and the floating effect does come up every once in a while. Although my main complaint with it is a 24/24, while Arsenal's a 3K 1K. So a little bit of disparity, a little bit of a disparity in the stats a little bit. But let's go back to the mini mutants. We have 3 copies of Mutant ST46. If it's no more special, you add a mutant spell trap from your deck to your hand, and then it has that same mutant effect where you contribute it to summon one of the mutants out of deck. Then we are on 2 Mutant. If you control a mutant card, you can special summon this card from your hand. You contribute this card, banish a mutant card from your hand or deck, special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck of the banished card type, but lose life points equal to the special summon monster's original attack. So it's the same thing, except instead of having to banish one from hand or field, this one lets you banish from deck by paying life points. So this is really one way that you can get that banished spell in the banishment if we were playing Mutant Mist, but we're not, so. But that's it for our main deck mutant monsters. A little bit of a lower count, we're at 11. We are on triple emergency teleport because all the mini mutants are all psychic, so really easy way to get them out. We're on 1 Mutant Evolution Lab. It's searchable off of ST46. It allows us to special summon a level 4 or lower mutant from your hand or banishment when it's activated, which can come up, as well as giving a slight stat boost to all of our cards depending on how many banished mutant cards with different names we have. And then it also allows us to kind of mulligan a mutant card from our hand for an extra draw by putting it on the bottom of our deck. Really helps us get rid of these big mutants that are stuck in our hand, so it's pretty useful for that. For our last 3 mutant cards specifically, we're on Double Mutant Cry, allowing us during the main phase to fusion summon a fusion using stuff from our deck, field, and graveyard, and face up banish cards. So it really has a large scope of cards that it can shuffle back into deck to fusion summon, and it's really good when we look at our fusions that we have access to. And then lastly, we're on 1 Mutant Expansion. It's basically an E-Telly on a trap, but it also protects our monsters. It's a continuous trap, which is quite good, allowing us to banish it after it got used for our mutant arsenal. But that's it for our main deck mutants. Now onto our Thunder Dragons. We're on double Thunder... sorry. That's it for our main deck mutants. Now onto our Thunder Dragons. We're on triple Thunder Dragon Roar, allowing us to discard it from our hand to the graveyard to target a Thunder Dragon that's banished or in our grave and add it from our grave to hand. It's not just Thunder Dragon monster, it's Thunder Dragon card, so if we do have a Thunder Dragon fusion banishment, we can add that to hand as well. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard or banished, it allows us to special summon a Thunder Dragon except for Roar out of our deck, but during the end phase it is bounced to our hand. Sometimes we actually do want to bounce that card to our hand, so sometimes that actually comes up if we have everything. But most of the time, the card it's going to be grabbing is going to be our next card, Thunder Dragon Dark. As a quick effect where you can discard it from your hand to add a Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. And if it's banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, it allows you to add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except for Thunder Dragon Dark. And it's a hard once per turn, and you can only use 1 effect per turn. So you can't go Thunder Dragon Dark, pitch a card, Mutant, banish Thunder Dragon Dark effect to add a card. It's 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. But Thunder Dragon Dark is really strong. Being able to summon it off of Thunder Dragon Roar and then linking it off in order to grab a Hawk from deck, which we're going to talk about right now, is really quite strong. We're on double Thunder Dragon Hawk, allowing us to discard it, target a Thunder Dragon that's in our banishment or in our grave, and special summon it. And if this card is banished or sent to the field from the graveyard, it allows us to shuffle any number of cards from our hand into the deck and then draw the same amount of cards. So it's like a magical mallet of sorts, except we're not going minus necessarily, which is quite nice. However, we're not really wanting to do that effect too frequently. However, the fact that we can do that might come up if in the case where we open Mutant MO5 and then Hawk and like nothing else. So Hawk is also one of the main ways we are able to summon Thunder Dragon Colossus. That's why we're just playing 2 of it, just to ensure we have access to it. Dark also can allow us if we open like Thunder Dragon Dark plus Thunder Dragon Matrix, that is Colossus, so there is that. And lastly, speaking of Matrix, we're on double Matrix. A quick effect, we can pitch it, target a Thunder Dragon we control, a Thunder Monster, not Thunder Dragon. Thunder Monster we control gains 500 attack. And if it's banished or sent from the field to the grave, you can add another copy of itself from your deck to your hand. Really good as a little advantage engine. We're on 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion, allowing us to fusion summon a Thunder Dragon Fusion monster from our extra deck by shuffling the materials from the cards on our field, graveyard, and face-up banishment. And then during the main phase, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, we can banish it to add the Thunder monster from our deck to our hand. Really, really strong stuff, being able to get advantage off of it after it's used, and then being able to add it back to hand since it's banished, as well as being able to recycle all those resources that we need, allowing us to put back that matrix that we have banished after it searched another matrix, allowing us to put all those darks back in the deck after we searched all the other darks. Really strong stuff. We're on 1 copy of Gold Sarcophagus, allowing us to banish a card from our deck face up. Typically it's going to be Thunder Dragon Roar. Or Thunder Dragon Dark is also a 1-card Colossus if we do banish it, which is quite nice. We're on triple copies of Pot of Prosperity in order to find our cards in our deck that we need at any given moment, since our extra deck is a little bit flexible. We're on 1 Called by the Grave, and then for hand traps, we're on Triple Dimensional Shifter and Triple Infinite Impermanence. For our extra deck, we are on 1 Relinquished Animal because we're running a level 1. Typically, this is going to be banished off of Prosperity, though. 1 Cross Sheep because we're a fusion-centered archetype with cards that have low levels that go to graveyard frequently that we can abuse by summoning on our opponent's turn over and over again. We're on 1 S Penis Little Knight, really, really strong card, along with their lesbian lover, IP Masquerena. Then we're on 1 Access Code Talker, 1 Apollosa, and 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World just to wrap out our links. Most of our links are going to be banished off of Prosperity, so a lot of them are just kind of like situational option cards like Underworld Goddess and stuff like that. For our fusion monsters, for our Thunder Dragons, we're on 1 Thunder Dragon Colossus, the whole reason this deck profile is even being made. It needs a Thunder Dragon and a Thunder monster, or you can special summon it the turn a Thunder effect monster was activated in the hand by attributing a Thunder effect non-fusion monster on the field. Cards cannot be added to the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. And if this card would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish a Thunder monster from your graveyard instead. Incredible card. It is a fucking house. Just by like going like we were saying with Gold Sark, where we activated Banish Thunder Dragon Dark, add Thunder Dragon Hawk, activate the Hawk, special summon Dark from Banishment, and then we can, since we activated Hawk in hand, and we have a Thunder effect monster on field, we can tribute the Dark in order to special summon the Colossus straight from our extra deck. So that is a 1-card Colossus Gold Sark. So, yeah. That's what the deck's trying to do, is just sit on the Colossus and then just get the Mutant advantage over and over and over again until your opponent has lost the game. You're on 1 Thunder Dragon Titan and needs 3 Thunder Dragon monsters. Not necessarily the original Thunder Dragon, so we're playing a little bit more than 3, so we can get that. Must be fusion summon or special summon by banishing a Thunder monster from your hand and 1 Thunder fusion monster you control. So we could summon this the alternative way by banishing the Colossus and the Thunder Dragon Titan. However, we don't have a way to put them back then, since we wouldn't have any Thunder Dragon fusions in our extra deck in order to actually activate Thunder Dragon Fusion, the card, to put them back. And then once, and when a Thunder Dragon, and when a Thunder monster's effect is activated in the hand, even during the damage step, quick effect, we can destroy 1 card on the field. If this card would be destroyed by card effect, we can banish 2 cards from our grave instead. So it's a little bit worse than Colossus in the protection aspect, but a little bit better in the terms of it actually interacts with your opponent. The moment you activate a card effect in hand, you can chain Titan to it. If it's a Thunder monster's effect, you're able to pop a card on field, but you have to chain Titan immediately after it. But that's it for our Thunder Dragons. Oh, I guess Titan is gone out of the deck now. We're on Triple Mutant Synthesis, and it's 2 mutants with different attributes. If it's fusion summon, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So it's a Trident on summon, and when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, this face-up card is unaffected by the effects of opponent's cards at the same type, monster, spell, or trap as the card that they activated. If this fusion summon card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add one of your banished mutant cards from your deck, from your banishment to your hand. You can use each synthesis effect once per turn. Incredibly strong stuff, just being able to special summon this guy, pop a card, and then if your opponent tries to respond with an infinite permanence, you can just make synthesis unaffected by traps. So for one time, it just doesn't care what your opponent does to it, and that's an effect that's constantly on it. So this guy is going to constantly kind of be a little bit of a douche stick to your opponent. And then lastly, the big boss monster that we're probably never going to summon is Mutant Ultimus. It needs 3 level 8 or higher mutants, so it would need exactly Arsenal, Beast, and a Synthesis, since those are the only level 8 or higher that we're playing. When a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can banish 1 mutant card from your hand or graveyard or face-up field of the same type, monster, spell, or trap. Negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. If this fusion summon card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add 3 of your banished mutant cards, 1 monster, 1 spell, and 1 trap from your grave banishment to your hand. Use each effective Ultimus once per turn. It's a big fuck-off boss monster that we're pretty much never going to summon, since it's really, really difficult to summon. Since we aren't running Mutant Fusion, we're only running Mutant Cry. That means we'd have to summon it off of Mutant Cry, so we only have so many opportunities in order to do that. But they are in here just for the options, and they're pretty free targets for Pot of Prosperity. But tell me what you think about this deck in the comments. If you haven't seen my last 2 videos, there is a giveaway going on. I'd recommend checking out the Discord. There's a giveaway channel that explains it all over there. So go check that out. It's in the Discord. The Discord is in the description if you'd like to join. It's also going to be on the end credits of this video. Speaking of end credits though, thank you guys so much for watching the video, if you still are, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you wanted to talk to more Yu-Gi-Oh players like yourself, I would highly recommend checking out our Discord server. Link is going to be in the description, as well as the QR code on screen. We do talk somewhat frequently about Yu-Gi-Oh and the current meta, so I would really enjoy to see you there. As well as we do recently now have channel memberships available on our YouTube channel, where we have 3 different tiers. We have Super Supporter at $2 a month, where you get loyalty badges, emojis, guaranteed comment responses, a shout out at the end of every video, as well as access to the members only Discord channel, where you get early sneak peeks at future videos. There is the Giga Supporter at $5 a month, where you have early access to all new videos about a day or 2 before they go up, as well as all the previous offers. And for $15 a month, we do have our final tier, which is going to be Femboy Fanatic. You get a guaranteed customized video every single month, as well as 1 hour of my time. Could be for anything you'd like. You want a duel? Absolutely. You want me to help build a deck? Absolutely. You want to play some Helldivers? Sure. I'll do anything for an hour once a month. But supporting does help me out quite a lot, and it does help me produce all of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Bye bye.